How's it, everyone? We are here for a very special edition of the 77%. My name is Kaya Ali.
And I am Okeri Ngushinado, and we're here in Völklinger Hütte in Germany. And I must say, Kaya, this place is pretty amazing. Back in the day, this was an iron factory, so all the production happened here. And it's the world's only fully preserved iron works, meaning you can still see the machinery when we go inside.
And this is a World UNESCO Heritage site, and they have events and exhibitions here. And we're here for a very special exhibition called The True Size of Africa.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, why is this exhibition actually called The True Size of Africa?
The first thing you see when you come here is this huge map of the continent, and you even see how big it is.
True, Africa is underestimated a lot.
Yeah, and you even see how many countries can fit inside here. We have China, we have India, and look how tiny Germany looks like if you scale it to Africa. What the main point of this exhibition is to kind of share awareness and challenge some of those stereotypes and those cliches that we often hear about Africa from the West.
Coming up on the show, in Kinshasa, where toxic waste defines daily life, art becomes the weapon of a forgotten community. And in Johannesburg, we meet two local graffiti artists who face off in a portrait battle. Last but not least, we head to Nigeria and we marvel at a new Guinness World Record made by 15-year-old Kanye. Mr. Bile, thank you so much for being with us today. This is a really incredible exhibition.
Thank you.
Why is the exhibition called The True Size of Africa?
It's the origin of mankind. So it means we are all African, and we are only losing, and we lost our skin, our black skin, by doing agriculture in these areas. And then there is certainly the slave trade and the colonization and the globalization of Africa by force. But it's also positive in another way that music and culture have been also expanding with this slave trade and the colonization. So all the music basically is Afro-global origin, if you talk from samba to techno.
Yeah, girl, that is very true. Mm-hmm. It's actually like this king over here. He was the Malian king called Mansa Musa, and he was the richest man in the world, and he would have been twice as rich as Elon Musk.
Wait,
imagine.
A billionaire?
Yes.
Crazy. I mean, I've never heard of him before, but it's really nice to see this representation of Africans, him sitting on a throne. He looks so good. But it reminds me of another artist here, Susanna Pilar.
Okay.
Looking so beautiful.
Okay, let's check that one.
Kaya, I have a question for you. Does this picture or any of these images look real?
They look real to me. They actually look like Bridgerton characters.
They're completely AI generated, so completely fake. And the main point of this artist, she wants to portray women in this strong and confident way and in a positive light that you don't really see in media. Speaking of representation, Kaya, didn't you recently go to South Africa to also film with a photographer that also takes pictures of ordinary citizens?
I actually did. He is a Soweto-based photographer, and he takes pictures of vendors, of taxi drivers, and you never see these people in mainstream media. So he likes to give them a voice and represent them because they are Joburg. And he is epic. I need to actually show you, Keri.
My name is Sebiso Seleka. I'm a photographer based in Soweto. My work is about documenting people, everyday people, telling their stories, giving them a voice. It's important to give awareness to what is happening in our communities so that we can tell stories of poverty and segregation and the difficulties that people go through on a daily basis. They're not given an opportunity or even a platform to share their struggles, their daily problems. So I feel there was a need for me to do that, to document and tell their stories best. To mostly try to empower people, black people who are struggling, who come from difficult circumstances, and they also need to see hope and find hope within themselves. so that they know that there's like a better future and a brighter one ahead. I think it gives me hope, it gives me life to be able to share my work with the world so that they know what people go through and possibly there might be help that comes for those people. I think the current situation in South Africa is a bit difficult, you know, like it's even difficult to really portray, but within my photographs you can see the difficulty that exists in SA. The portrayal of Soweto in media it mainly focuses on stories that don't exist, you know, because of most people that portray it aren't from here. So yeah, they tell the poverty in a shameful way, not the way it is.
For saying like day to day, let's bereka jwang letsang. Maybe let's wanna komang for le etsa mmereko lo etsang.
Ke tswa ka 5 nna twa.
Ka 5.
Ke Maria ba
Oh, ka Maria.
5 ya.
Ka sama.
Ya ajeng bosibuko sa ka pelenyana go tswa ka bo materito ya.
Oh, ka sama. Oh, ka zoba ka khanya ka pele.
Ke khanya ka pele
Go teng go pele kona. Ka pele.
Abo.
Ha o shebile ka letsatsi le na o tshola ka. So go nka sniper re so ke tlo le release.
Behind the lens, you capture the powerful stories without, you know, like it's without the stories being sugar-coated or someone misrepresenting those stories. But the lens, you cannot cheat the lens. You cannot lie from what is being told through the lens. I would like to believe the messages that my pictures carry are messages of hope and resilience, you know, that our people, they want better. Hence, they wake up every morning and they strive to do the best they can with the little resources they are given. I call it beautiful chaos. I think from every chaos there is a sense of beauty, you know. The fact that people don't give up, even though the dynamics are not great, you know. Like there's like a lot of challenges, but they still strive to do best, to succeed. So there is beauty in their daily hustle because they don't give up. They make sure that they push, you know, they push the boundaries. So that's the beauty about it. When I'm not in a good state, it's difficult for me to see those moments, to tell the stories, you know. But as soon as I'm in tune with myself and I'm a bit happy and I'm in a good place, then I'm able to share the stories with people. I can do better. I can provide content that is more decent, and the stories are more, they have more weight. You know, I'm not just documenting for the fun of it, but documenting because I want to tell those stories and share it with people.
It's really impressive how his photography looks like, and I think I especially like how it doesn't look so overly edited.
Not only that, he's a really cool, down-to-earth guy.
Yeah.
And he actually also cares about the people he photographs.
I mean, that's enough fangirling from us. I really like how activism can look so different from person to person. I mean, if you look at this, for example, what's the first thing that comes to mind, or what do you even think it's made out of?
I mean, I see keyboards and I see iPhone pieces. It actually also looks like you can wear it as a costume.
Yeah, exactly. You can wear it. This is part of an artist collective that's called Congo Astronauts, which started way back in 2013. They make this suit out of electronic waste, and this is basically just to draw attention to conflict over resources in the region.
We actually also have these resources in our hands. And it reminds me of another piece from a crew called Pape Noir, from Kinshasa, DRC, and they turn trash into Afrofuturistic sculptures. It's epic, but it also has a very serious message. Please have a look.
In Kinshasa's limited district, toxic waste lines the streets and cloaks the waterways. A lot of it ends up in the Njili River, the city's main source of drinking water. Now the river is so full of waste, it spills over, cutting off roads and disrupting daily life for residents. In the middle of this chaos sails a local legend, Mitskilomboshi Lukumbi Henok, better known as Pape Noir or the Black Pope. Like a Congolese Jack Sparrow, he navigates the murky waters of Njili as an artist on a mission. From his boat, he shows us the creative resistance emerging from a community drowning in waste.
My name is Pape Noir. I'm a plastic artist and I live in the Limete commune in the Ndano Industrial District. This commune is called Limete Industrial because of all the industries that produce biscuits, candies, soap, beauty milk and paper are located here in Limete Industrial where I live.
After each rain, rising waters flood these riverside dwellings. Pape Noir treads through the water on his way back as he shares the history of his neighborhood.
Back then, there were fields here. We grew rice because here it's a marshy area. It was only in 1982 or 1983 that disaster victims, originally from Kingabwa neighborhood and victims of floods, asked former President Mobutu for permission to settle here.
With little help from the government and toxic pollution from nearby factories, the neighborhood is struggling. Yet, new families keep arriving. With no space below, people are forced to live on rooftops. Faced with this reality, Pape Noir chose art as a means of expression. Through bold, provocative art, he exposes the harsh realities of life in Limete to demand change for the community.
I live next to an iron bar production company. Often they buy end-of-life cars. They only recover the iron from the vehicles. The rest of the waste, like plastic, is thrown into the street. When it rains, this waste obstructs the flow of water in the sewers and gutters, thus preventing its normal drainage. That's where I got the inspiration to create my first costume.
Pounding drums draw the attention of curious crowds passing by. Pape Noir and his crew are using street performance as a form of protest. Their art is a bold statement against the unchecked dumping of waste.
This work is unique, and wearing it gives me the feeling of transforming myself in the face of the current problem that makes us suffer.
For his next performance, Pape Noir draws inspiration from his ancestors.
His performance is a window into the ancestral strength and way of life of our ancestors. Ngola is the white paint applied to the body, formerly used as a remedy to beautify the skin. It was also used during ancestral ceremonies. Today, this practice is neglected, which explains current problems such as pollution, a consequence of disrespecting ancestral values and practices.
The impact is immediate. Residents stop to watch. Some take photos. With all eyes on him, Pape Noir seizes the moment to share his message.
As a people, let's not throw our waste in the street. Let's not throw plastic in landfills in order to protect our environment. To my fellow artists, I can only encourage them to persevere in their denunciation. Whatever the obstacles, a solution will eventually emerge with God's help.
The road to clean streets and waterways is long, but not impossible. Bold artists like Pape Noir remind us that the future of our cities, rivers and communities is in our hands. Art has sparked the conversation. Now it's up to the people to carry it forward.
No, we have a long way to go, hey? Millions of people are being exploited in DRC today.
Yeah, it's hectic though.
It really is. Hey, what's this? And they're just like chilling in a cabinet. And don't these things actually carry meaning?
I mean, I'm not super superstitious, you know, but the thing is, every time I see this artifacts or mask like this, I always just feel like, you know, doesn't it remind you of ancestors?
Yeah.
And it always stirs up the conversation whether this belongs in a museum or in someone's living room. Same thing with looted art. Should it be in European museums or back on the continent?
But I actually saw something about this on Instagram just the other day. Let me show you.
Europe holds the largest collection of African artifacts. So why haven't they been returned to their rightful owners? Major institutions like the British Museum, the Louvre, or Germany's Pergamon Museum don't want to give up their star exhibits. Doing so would mean giving up on part of their reason to exist. For the Rautenstrauch-Jost Museum in Germany, it became clear that the artifacts should go back to where they belong. curators searched the museum's archives and found more than 90 of the so-called Benin bronzes. The Kingdom of Benin was a powerful West African empire located in what is now southern Nigeria. It flourished for centuries, known for its sophisticated political system, remarkable art, and vast trade networks. For art historian Peju Leriwola, removing the inventory numbers from the bronzes was a powerful moment.
It's like putting numbers on people and putting them in jail. So taking them off is preparing them to go to Benin, taking off those marks that have no meaning in the culture. And we don't put numbers on ancestors.
The Benin bronzes became a symbol of the fight to return art looted during the colonial era. The provenance of the objects is clear. British colonial forces looted them in a brutal raid on the Kingdom of Benin in 1897. Thousands were killed as the royal palace was plundered. Since then, generations have waited for their return.
For me, the most important thing is the change of ownership. And that is the change of power.
Because ownership means control over research, over history, over culture. When Germany returned the first 22 artifacts in 2022, the plan was to build a museum for the statues in Nigeria with German support. But that never happened. Instead, former President Muhammadu Buhari handed them over to the royal family of Benin in Edo State. A lot of people aren't happy. They asked, shouldn't the public be able to see them? And didn't the former Benin kings participate in the slave trade? Who gets to decide over the fate of millions of artifacts lying dormant in museum depots and private collections? The case has not made it easier for African communities to reclaim their stolen heritage. Some European museums have even paused returns, adding new conditions. All this for objects that were never theirs to begin with.
We have seen so much art throughout the show and all from different parts of the continent, and each one has their own message that they're trying to send. But I'm really curious, is graffiti considered art, or is it maybe just someone you know taking the spray paint and then just like tagging the wall or something like that?
Girl, that's a really big question within the art industry. But in Joburg, for example, we have a lot of graffiti which are all politically driven, and on the other hand, we also have a lot of names, seemingly gang names. And what do I know? We spoke to 2 graffiti artists from Joburg, and let's hear what they have to say.
The walls of Johannesburg breathe with color. A living canvas where 2 graffiti artists write their truths with spray cans. First up, Pet, who discovered graffiti in the stillness of lockdown.
Graffiti found me in the streets. It was during lockdown. The roads were empty, everything was open, and I could have nice fresh air and just express myself in open streets.
Then there's Floyd, who's got hip-hop in his veins.
Graffiti is like a child of hip-hop, right? It comes from that movement and culture. So for me, graffiti was always like, you know, it was always the other aspect of hip-hop that contributes to the expression of youth.
They've never met before, but now they're painting each other without even looking. When they're done, their artwork will meet on 2 sides of the same wall.
Hey, what's up, bro?
So man, how you doing today?
I'm good, bro. What's your name?
My name is Pet.
Pet?
Yeah.
That's Floyd, bro.
Easy Floyd.
Pet and Floyd went to art school, but they weren't about following the rules. They took the graffiti route, which didn't get a thumbs up from their friends and family.
How would you describe or say like graffiti changed your life?
Prior to graffiti, I was mainly behind a computer screen.
Okay.
Doing graphic design, it allowed me to step out into the bigger world.
Graffiti's got its battles, and these 2 have fought their fair share.
Yeah, culturally it's quite stigmatized, you know, painting.
Yeah.
Even in times I've been arrested for painting a wall, the police will ask you, why are you doing this? Just put Popeyes on the wall.
And have you been arrested?
Yes, I am.
For painting?
For painting.
That's interesting. I've never.
Really?
Yeah. So one of the things I would do in my neighborhood is that I would go in the daytime, right? And then I'd find an abandoned space, you know? And one time police did stop. They were driving past, and you won't guess how it went. They were just like, hey, what are you doing? And I showed them my sketch, and they were like, oh, that's interesting. And then they drove on, you know, and left. And that changed my whole perspective, because I was like, oh, okay, let me try doing this more, you know, daytime vibes, you know? And would you say, do you know anyone else in your family who was an artist?
None at all, man, none at all.
So you can't trace maybe, yeah.
I can't trace it, man. We're a very small family.
Yeah.
I'll be in the process of extending the family, thank you very much.
Okay, I like that. I like that.
I found myself a very supportive partner.
That's good. I'm in the same boat, you know?
Yeah.
My partner's also very supportive, you know?
3 hours of listening, sketching and peeling back layers. Now, it's time to face the person behind the voice.
Yeah, I'm done. Are you done?
Ah, fantastic, man.
Let me greet you, bro.
Yeah, look.
Oh, you made a cartoon of me. I like the... So I got a hint, you got a cap, so I tried, man.
Yeah.
First impression, I mean, that was fun, actually. You know, it's very reminiscent of the process of being a graffiti artist. You know, you do sometimes meet people you've never met before in any case, and you guys just jam, right?
My thoughts was already painted as fantastic, you know. I didn't think I would get a portrait in my lifetime of myself, and I love the profile he used, you know. The side view profile was used a lot back in the days, you know, and I appreciate it a lot.
Yo, it's really impressive how they were able to draw each other just based off conversation. Props to them.
Right. What I really don't like, though, is that the art form is not respected within the art industry, even though they carry so much meaning and activism. What's really cool, though, also, is that you see the murals just pop up randomly overnight.
Yeah, it's just like this 15-year-old Nigerian boy who won the World Guinness record for painting a huge art canvas on the floor. He has autism and unveiled it on World Autism Awareness Day. Take a look.
In a world where challenges often feel daunting, one young artist is proving that the word impossible is just another canvas waiting to be filled with color. Meet Kanyachukwu Tagbo, a 15-year-old Nigerian whose journey is as vibrant as his art. Diagnosed with autism at a young age, Kanye found it difficult to communicate with words. But where language fell short, his creativity soared. Through painting, he discovered a powerful voice, a journey he started at the age of 3.
You'd come home and you'd find that all the walls, it's scribbled, you know. You take a pencil and a pen, you'd scribble on the walls, all over the walls, on the floor, on the seats. And so what we started to do, we would buy rolls of paper. We would buy rolls of paper, give it to him, so that would keep him busy. We want to believe Kanye is able to express his feelings, his innate feelings with his works.
This year, Kanye made history by setting a new Guinness World Record for the largest painting on canvas by an individual. His masterpiece, titled Impossibility is a Myth, stretches over 12,000 square meters. At the heart of the painting, a multicolored ribbon promoting autism awareness.
Impossibility is a Myth, it's not a new title, actually. Kanye's first solo exhibition at Terra Culture in Lagos was called Impossibility is a Myth. From where we are coming from to where he is now, who would have thought that this would be possible? And then that name came, Impossibility is a Myth.
Kanye's art has been showcased in galleries and museums around the world, from bustling cities in Nigeria to the grand halls of Europe. In 2018, he became the first Nigerian to receive the Flame of Peace Award in Vienna, Austria. Yet, the stigma surrounding autism remains a big issue. Many on the spectrum still struggle to combat social exclusion, prejudice, and misconceptions.
Some people don't want to be educated because they have a mindset of, no, your child shouldn't jump on the chair, your child should be jumping up and down, your child should be shouting in public. And that's why we encouraged Kanye to do this Guinness World Record, because to create a movement, you need to do something extraordinary to draw attention to whatever you're trying to talk to people about.
Kanya Chukwu Tagbo is painting the impossible and inspiring a generation to dream beyond limits.
Wow, what an impressive young artist that was. I really love how he unveiled that piece on World Autism Day. And autism is not spoken about enough on the continent.
Yeah, he's truly impressive. Safe to say, Kaya, we have seen it all today. It's been really, really an incredible day. Let's continue this discussion on our social media pages. Connect with us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And also tag us in some of the artwork that you do. We would love to see it.
Thank you so much for joining us on this special episode of the 77%. My name is Kaya Ali.
And I am Okeri Ngushinado. Until next time,
bye.